Hi, my name is Jillian Lever, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of CCAP Across the Map. CCAP Across the Map, the acronym CCAP, standing for Cervical Cancer Awareness and Prevention, is a nonprofit organization that addresses the cervical cancer epidemic by providing cervical health education and increasing access to HPV vaccines and diagnostic screening measures in under-resourced areas around the world. So the problem is that cervical cancer has long been a major cause of death for women, beginning as early as the 1940s. On top of this, approximately 90% of cervical cancer-related deaths arise in low and middle-income countries. Luckily, there is a solution to this problem. The World Health Organization maintains that a comprehensive approach that includes prevention through HPV vaccination, as well as early diagnosis, could help solve the cervical cancer epidemic. That's where we come in. Back in 2017, my partner Hunter Ackerley and I noticed that there was no one organization working to provide cervical cancer prevention materials in smaller areas. Now, there are organizations that work on a higher macro level to provide these supplies to countries, but within those countries, smaller, more rural areas are often missed. We work to address these areas. Since 2017, we've curated a team of individuals with a wide range of skill sets, from business and marketing to the more medical and scientific side of things. And now that we have the personnel behind us to carry out more large-scale projects, we need funding, and that's why we're here today. And so the project that we've brought before you is set to take place in border town Naco. It's located here in the United States, in Arizona, and then it's also located in Sonora, Mexico. Now, it's one of those exact smaller, more rural areas that we're trying to address. It only has a population of 1,000 people. Now, our goal is to provide HPV vaccines to 25 girls between the ages of 9 to 14. Now, before we delve into the particulars of this project, there are two main things that you should know about HPV vaccines. And now first, HPV is the #1 cause of cervical cancer, and it's projected to cause around 92% of cases. Additionally, it takes 2 doses of the HPV vaccine for someone to acquire immunity. And now HPV vaccination has the possibility to decrease the incidence of cervical cancer by 90%, which is why it's so imperative to vaccinate as many people as possible to halt the transmission of the virus. Now, our timeline is bifurcated into 2 processes. Now, the first step, or the first process, is that by July of 2020, we're set to procure the first round of HPV vaccines. Then, in August of 2020, CCAP representatives are going to travel to Naco to deliver an educational presentation about the importance of HPV vaccination to the girls who are getting vaccinated, as well as their guardian. Additionally, the clinic who we're going to be working with while we're down there is going to administer the first dose of vaccines. Next, in September of 2020, we're going to procure the second round of HPV vaccines, and then CCAP representatives will return to Naco in October of 2020 for the second educational seminar about additional steps that can be taken to prevent cervical cancer, and then to also deliver the second and final round of vaccines. And as for our budget, it's very simple. It only consists of 3 items. Now, that first category is education supplies. That entails women's health education pamphlets, as well as HPV vaccine-specific infographics. Now, printing all of these units for the girls and their guardians, as well as having extras just in case, is going to total around $160. The real heart of our budget is the actual vaccination supplies. In order for us to purchase 2 doses of HPV vaccines for 25 girls, that's going to cost us around $9,750. As you can see on the bottom of the budget, this entire project is projected to cost $9,910. Although we would love to receive full funding for this project, we just want you to know, as our possible donors, that any contribution counts and any contribution has meaning to us. Most of the work that we've done up until this point has been done domestically here in the States, specifically in Arizona, because that's where we're stationed. We would love if you would help us take our first global step so we can all do our part to save the cervix. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.